Hello there, welcome to Naija Real Estate Diaspora Roadmap. I am Marvelous Alabi. I'll be your trusted guide as we embark on an adventure through the vibrant world of Nigerian real estate. Together, we will explore cities, communities, and countless opportunities that make Nigerian real estate a true gem for our Nigerian family. Whether you're a first-time investor, a professional, or simply interested in staying connected to your heritage and understanding how to acquire property in Nigeria, this podcast is your guide to creating wealth in the real estate sector. We have everything covered from the bustling street of Lagos to the serene shores of Abuja. Our mission is fostering financial growth and sustainable prosperity via real estate. So buckle up. Prepare yourself for a journey filled with knowledge, updates, and trends that will stir up your connection and keep you adequately informed in the world of Nigerian real estate. Are you ready? Let's go. Hey, my amazing people. Welcome back to another exciting episode of the podcast. I'm your real estate buddy, wealth creation cheerleader, and fellow dream chaser on this real estate investment journey. Now, let me ask you a big question. What's the number one rule in real estate? Go ahead, shout it out wherever you are. That's right, location. Today, we're diving into why where you buy is just as important, maybe even more important than what you buy. Now picture this for a moment. You've been working hard abroad, saving up from your 9 to 5 or your care shift of 12 hours or any side hustle, maybe even got some family sending you remittance money. You finally decided, yes, it's time to invest in property. But then the big question hits, where do I buy? Should I go for that fast-growing area? Should I play it safe in the city? Should I invest for rent, resale, or just hold the land and wait? If that sounds like you, then trust me, this episode is exactly what you need. We're breaking it all down with real-life examples, practical questions you need to ask, and of course, some of my favorite motivational nuggets to keep you fired up. Whether you're thinking of land banking in Nigeria, buying your first rental property in the UK, or scouting for high-growth estates back home, this episode is for you, especially if you're a Nigerian or African immigrant with your eyes on the bigger picture. So grab a pen, get comfy, and let's build some legacy wealth together. Let me kick things off with a simple question. Why does location matter so much in real estate? Think about it in our everyday lives. We already understand how important location is. Where would you rather live? Somewhere close to good schools, hospitals, markets, maybe even near your job, right? Nobody wants to live 3 hours from civilization just because the house looks fancy. That same instinct applies to real estate investing. You've probably heard the phrase location. Yeah, I know it sounds like one of those overused buzzwords. But let me tell you, it's not just a catchy slogan. It's the real backbone of smart property investing. I remember when I first started learning about real estate, someone told me something that really stuck. You can renovate a house, you can repaint it, change the roof, add a fancy kitchen, but you can't move the land. And they were absolutely right. Land is fixed. It doesn't move. And like Mark Twain famously said, buy land, they're not making it anymore. So once you buy a piece of land or property, you're tied to that location. That's it. And whether that location grows in value or stays stuck will determine the success of your investment. Now, let's break it down further. What actually makes a location good or bad for real estate? Well, a few key things. Is it close to job opportunities and schools? Are there good roads and public transport? Is it safe, peaceful, or full of traffic and noise? What's the general vibe? Is the area up and coming, or are people moving out? Let me give you a quick story to bring this to life. A few years ago, I took a drive out to Naija on the outskirts of Lagos. Back then, it looked like a sleepy place. Dusty roads, a few scattered houses, and not much going on. But I noticed something. Road expansion projects, a new bridge, shopping plazas under construction. That was the signal. Fast forward to today, Naija has become one of Lagos's hot property zones. Malls, estates, new infrastructure, and those who bought land early, their property values have skyrocketed. All because they bet on the right location. Same thing is happening in places like Lugbe and Kuje in Abuja. Those places used to be too far from the city center, But now, with the new Abuja metro line and proximity to the airport, they are booming. Property demand has jumped because people can now live farther out and commute with ease. So here's the takeaway. Even within one city, there are pockets of opportunity and areas to avoid, and it all boils down to location. I'll leave you with this. A mentor of mine once said, "You're not just buying a house or a plot, you're buying the location." That's the real investment. Keep that in mind as we continue this episode, because once you master location, you're halfway to winning the real estate game. Alright, now that we've unpacked why location is everything in real estate, let's talk about what you're actually investing in. Because let's be real, not all real estate goals are the same. And each type of goal, it has its own ideal kind of location. In our community, I've seen 4 main real estate goals come up again and again. Land banking, short-term rentals, shortlets, long-term rentals, residential homes for sale or to live in. And here's the key. Each goal has a dream location that fits it best. Let's start with land banking. This is when you buy land raw, undeveloped land, and you just hold on to it, hoping that as the area grows, so will your land's value. Now listen, if land banking is your game, don't go chasing already developed luxury areas. You want emerging neighborhoods, places that might look empty today but are sitting on future gold. For example, areas like Ibeju-Lekki in Lagos or Centenary City in Abuja. Back in the day, they were far or too quiet, but savvy investors saw the signs: new roads, proposed seaports, or tech zones. Think of land banking like planting a mango tree. You won't eat the fruit tomorrow, but in a few years, boom, it could feed your whole family. As Will Rogers famously said, "Don't wait to buy land and wait." Because the real wealth comes when you move before the crowd does. Next, let's talk about short-term rentals, aka shortlets. This is for the Airbnb crowd. It's an apartment or homes you rent out for a few nights or weeks. To win here, location has to scream convenience. Tourist zones, business districts, event venues, places where people come and go. Think about beachfront apartments in Accra, flats in Victoria Island or Ikeja GRA in Lagos, apartments near airports, conference centers, nightlife spots. And if you're investing from the UK or US and looking at Africa, cities like Nairobi, Cape Town or Lagos Island are perfect for shortlets. But remember, shortlets aren't passive. You'll need cleaning, maintenance and marketing. But if you pick the right area, the returns are sweet. Sometimes 2 to 3 times what long-term tenants would pay. Now, let's talk about long-term rentals. This is the classic strategy: rent to working class professionals, students or families who live there year-round. Here, the goal is steady, predictable income. So, you need areas with real demand and essential infrastructure jobs, transport, hospitals, schools. For instance, targeting professionals, try Lekki Phase 1 or Ikeja. 1 student tenants, go near schools or university. Here's a quick tip. Sometimes, the best rental returns aren't in the flashiest areas. Places like Yaba, Aja, and Surulere often give 6 to 8% rental yield compared to 3 to 5% in luxury zones like Ikoyi or Banana Island, where the purchase price is way higher. So if monthly cash flow is your goal, think middle income neighborhoods, not elite ones. Last but not least, residential homes for you or resale. This one's all about lifestyle. Whether you're building for your family or flipping houses, you need to think like an end user. People want peace. They want security. They want good schools, clean water, working electricity, and maybe even a park or shopping mall nearby. For example, in Abuja, look at Jabi or Utako. In Nairobi, maybe areas near business parks or quiet family estates. In London or Toronto, suburbs with good schools and low crime always perform well. And don't forget to match your home to your market. Are you building luxury villas for CEOs or starter homes for first-time buyers? Let me give you a real-life story. Meet Amina, a Nigerian doctor living in London. She has some savings and wants to invest back home but doesn't know where to start. She wants land for the future but also income right now. So I gave her 2 options. First is for her to buy land on the outskirts of Lagos, where the new Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road or metro projects are coming. That's land banking. Buy a small apartment in Yaba and furnish it for Airbnb, perfect for students, visiting lecturers, or family travelers. Amina loved the idea. She picked a township plan area for the land with a government school and road network coming in. And she chose a student-friendly flat near Lagos State University for short-let income. 2 goals, 2 strategies, 2 perfect fit locations. You too can do the same. Here's the bottom line. When it comes to real estate, location should always match your investment goal or mission. If you want capital appreciation, go for land or long-term development zones. If you want consistent income, choose tenant-friendly or tourist-ready neighborhoods. If you want to build a home for your family, choose comfort and community. The clearer you are about your goal, the smarter your location choice will be. Stay with me, because up next we'll explore how to actually verify and secure these properties from abroad without getting confused or getting stuck. Why do some locations cost so much more than others? Let's tackle a big question. I know every real estate investor has asked at some point, why does land or housing cost so much more in one area than another, even if they are just a few streets apart? Maybe you've seen it. One house listed for 100 million naira, another just a short drive away for 60 million naira. Same city, same climate. So, what is the major reason for this? Well, my friend, there's a method to this difference. Let's break it down. Number 1 is infrastructure and amenities. This is one of the biggest drivers of property prices. If a neighborhood has a good roads, a reliable power and water, fast internet, access to hospitals, malls and schools, it's going to cost more. Period. Take Lagos, for example. Areas like Victoria Island and Ikoyi are premium. Why? Because they offer top-tier amenities, marine security, parks, international schools, corporate offices. The elite and foreign companies all want to be there. But here's the catch. Because the prices are so high, rental yields are actually lower, around 3.5% to 5%. That's because the cost to buy is massive, even if rent is high. Now, compare that to Ikorodu, a suburb that's still developing. Properties there might give you 7 to 9% yields. Why? Because the land is cheaper, even though the rental demand exists. So remember, expensive areas often give lower ROI but higher prestige. 2. Proximity to job hubs and growth corridors. People like to live close to work. So, areas near commercial or government centers or along expanding highways are naturally in demand. In Abuja, areas like Lugbe and Kuje are gaining value because they are close to Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport and government offices. The new metro rail and expressway upgrades make commuting easier, and that attracts buyers and renters. In Lagos, the sprawl is pushing people outwards. Towns like Mo and Ofada in Ogun State are heating up. As more estates pop up and infrastructure improves, land prices climb. Developers are literally following the roads, and you should too. It's all about supply and demand. When central Lagos gets too expensive, people look elsewhere, and prices in those next best places start to rise. 3. Future development plans. Sometimes prices jump not because of what's there now, but because of what's coming. Think about Centenary City in Abuja, a planned smart city. Even though much of it is still under construction, plots are selling at a premium. Why? Because investors are banking on massive future demand. The same thing happened in Epe and Ibeju-Lekki. 5 years ago, land there was cheap, but once plans for the Lekki Deep Sea Port and the new airport were announced, prices started climbing fast. This is why it pays to stay plugged into master plans, government announcements, and major infrastructure news. Sometimes, just the rumor of a new highway or university can shift the market. 4. Security and community. Even in the same city, some neighborhoods are safer and more organized than others. Areas with gated estates, functional resident associations, and solid security, they always cost more. Why? Because people will pay for peace of mind. Families especially want safety, order, and a quiet environment. A good school nearby, a playground, or even just a well-lit street can add value. On the flip side, if a location is known for insecurity or poor drainage, it will remain cheap even if it's close to town. 5. Scarcity of land. Let's not forget one of the most basic economic principles: scarcity. There's only so much land in central areas. In places like Banana Island, Lagos, or central Cape Town, vacant plots are rare, and when something is rare, it becomes valuable. Even small plots go for a fortune because everyone wants in, but there's not enough space. Compare that to remote, undeveloped areas with plenty of land. They're cheaper simply because there's more supply and less demand. One of the most underrated reasons a property may be significantly more expensive than a similar one nearby is land title, especially if it has been perfected. When we say a land title is perfected, it means all the necessary government documentation and approvals have been fully completed, such as C of O, Certificate of Occupancy, Governor's Consent, Registered Deed of Assignment, Survey Plan lodged at the Surveyor General's Office, Gazette, in excised villages or government-acquired land. These processes are not cheap. For example, in Lagos, perfecting a C of O can cost millions of naira. Governor's consent alone may range from 3% to 10% of the land's value. This was explained in details in our previous podcast episode. Go check it out. And for such properties, when you add in legal fees, professional charges, and time delays, you're looking at a real financial investment. So, when a property comes with a perfected title, the seller often includes these costs in the asking price. That's why a plot with just a receipt and survey might cost 8 million naira. The same size plot in the same estate, but with a C of O, could go for 12 and 14 million naira. And rightly so, because as a buyer, you're saving yourself legal risk, time chasing government files, and sometimes double spending if a title turns out to be invalid. A property with a perfected title is easier to transfer, get approved for building, use as collateral with banks or financial institutions. So, when you see a higher price tag, ask about the title status. Don't just negotiate down blindly. A more expensive plot might actually be the safer and smarter investment. So, what's the big takeaway? Location prices reflect demand, supply, infrastructure, future potential, and lifestyle. Let me ask you a question. Think back to when you or your family chose a place to live. Did you pay more to be near a great school or an easy commute? Exactly. As an investor, you need to think just like that, but smarter. Don't just chase the cheapest plot. Chase value. Always ask yourself these two questions. What do people want today, and what will they want tomorrow? Now, let's get practical. How do you select the right location for your investment? We've covered the theory, but when it's time to actually put your money down, what should you do? Here's a step-by-step roadmap to guide you. 1. Clarify your investment goal and timeline. Start with your why. Are you investing for quick rental income or long-term capital growth? If you want cash flow now, focus on established neighborhoods with demand for rentals, even if they cost more. If you're land banking for 5-10 years, look at emerging areas further out where prices are lower. Write it down. I want 7% ROI from rent in 3 years, or double my land value in 10 years. This clarity instantly narrows your search. 2. Research multiple locations. Never fall in love with the first plot or area you see. Make a short list of candidate locations that meet your criteria. Use tools like real estate websites, Google Earth, social media groups, local property forums. If you're abroad, the internet is your friend. Look up price trends, rental demand, news on infrastructure or commercial development, states' master plans and government projects. And if you have connections locally, a friend, agent, or family member, ask for updates from the ground. And of course, we are also here to guide you in this regard. We currently have developers whom we have partnered with, so help with your investment decisions. 3. Check infrastructure and amenities. This one's huge. Use satellite maps if you can't visit. Check roads paved versus bush path, proximity to schools, clinics, power lines, markets, water supply and drainage, flood risk, especially in coastal cities. Many low-cost plots flood badly in rainy season. Even more important, verify the title. It doesn't matter how perfect the location is, if the land has a fake or disputed title, you could lose everything. Always confirm things like C of O, governor's consent, or excision. This is one reason we recommend Crimson Oaks. They insist on clean titles before anything else. 4. Gauge demand and supply. If it's for rent, check how many people are actually looking in that area. A quick trick: browse rental listings online. Are properties staying long or renting fast? Are prices rising or stagnant? For short lets, Are there tourist attractions, airports, or conference or event venues nearby? For land, are developers building nearby? Are there government projects planned, like a university, refinery, rail line? Also consider competition. If the area is already saturated, you need a smart angle to stand out. 5. Analyze price versus potential. Once you've picked a location, compare current prices to future potential. This is where yield calculations help. For rentals, yield equals annual rent live purchase price, price 100. A 5 to 6% yield in Nigeria is decent. 7 to 9% is strong, e.g., parts of Ikorodu or Aja. 3 to 4% means high prices cash flow may be low, but capital appreciation might still be attractive. Don't just chase low prices, chase value. 6. Factor in currency and cost issues. If you're earning in dollars, pounds, or euros and investing in naira, consider currency risk and inflation. Also include taxes, like the 10% withholding tax on land sales, legal fees, agent commissions, survey and title processing fees. These can eat into your profit if not properly accounted for upfront. 7. Test the waters if you can. Ideally, visit the site. If not possible, send someone you trust or hire a professional. Ask locals or site watchers questions. Watch out for boundary disputes, community ownership issues, accessibility. Are roads motorable year-round? Land appreciation is directly tied to accessibility, especially access to good roads, rail lines, and highways. 8. Listen to your gut and your wallet. At the end of the day, does it feel right? Don't overpay just to be in a trendy area if it will stress your finances. But don't go too cheap either. Sometimes cheap comes with hidden headaches. Real estate should bring you peace and long-term security, not panic and sleepless nights. Find that sweet spot between data, logic, and instinct. Final word. Finding the right location is like solving a puzzle. Your goals, the data, the property's potential, and your budget all need to align. When they do, you feel confident and ready to move forward. Before we wrap up, bonus tips to tuck in your back pocket. Let me leave you with a few quick fire nuggets, the kind of practical wisdom you might not hear in a brochure, but that make all the difference when you're on the ground. Think in clusters, not just coordinates. Don't look at a property in isolation, zoom out. What's happening around it? Are there new schools, malls, banks, or estates springing up nearby? Growth usually happens in clusters. Caution: if your plot is next to undevelopable land like a swamp, high-tension power line, or industrial dump site, it could stagnate in value for years, and it could also increase in price if development comes to the area. The major parts of the highbrow area of the Lagos Island is swamp, yet the value keeps increasing by the day. Another thing is network with other investors. Join WhatsApp groups, Diaspora property communities, or local real estate forums. Other buyers, especially in your situation, often share hidden gems, new projects, or even expose red flags. Learn from those ahead of you, their wins and their mistakes. Simulate the commute. If you plan to live there or rent it out, check how long it will take to get to work, school, or the market. A 10-kilometer stretch in Lagos can mean 1+ hour in traffic. You need to bear that in mind. Use Google Maps during rush hour to get realistic commute times. This affects rental demand and livability. Check utility availability. Great title, great land, but no water or light? It happens. Some areas have bad water, yet their value are not bad at all. Check if there are plans for electricity expansion, water access, or road grading. If not, factor in boreholes, solar, or generators. They add to setup cost and affect rental ROI. Negotiate smartly and verify everything. Always negotiate, it's expected in most Nigerian markets, but also verify every claim. If a seller says they're building a train station nearby, don't take it at face value. Check official plans or news sources. Be polite but professionally skeptical. Know when to walk away. If the deal feels rushed, shady, or too good to be true, take a step back. Never let pressure override due diligence. There will always be more land, more deals, more options. The right one will come and it will feel right too. Stay updated, keep learning. The real estate landscape is always shifting. Prices move, policies change, infrastructure expands. Stay hard by attending seminars, watching webinars, reading market reports, or better still, tuning into our podcast regularly. The more you know, the more confident your decisions become. Final word. There's no perfect location, but there is a right one for you. When you combine knowledge, patience, and strategy, you stop guessing and start investing smart. Today's episode has been insightful. Here's a quick recap of the key takeaways. Location matters above almost everything in real estate. It's the lens through which you view all other factors. Location. Different investment goals need different kinds of locations. Are you planting seeds, land banking, catching waves, shortlets, or building steady cash flow, rentals? Choose your terrain accordingly. Infrastructure, demand, and scarcity drive prices. New roads, schools, or projects can make an area suddenly hot. Rich neighborhoods charge a premium for all the comforts and status they offer. Practical steps. Define your goal, do your research, online and on-site, analyze data like rental yields, check legal titles, and trust your instincts. Ultimately, real estate is both a science and an art. You blend numbers and facts with your vision for the future. You might recall that Mark Twain quote, "Buy land, they are not making it anymore." But we can add to that wisdom. Make sure you're buying the right land in the right place for the right reasons. Now I have a question for you. What will you do next after hearing this? Maybe it's drawing up a short list of 3 areas to investigate or calling a friend to discuss a potential deal. I encourage you to take one concrete step this week toward your real estate goal. Even something small like researching a location online or making a list of your top 5 criteria gets you moving in the right direction. If you found value in this episode, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcast app and also on YouTube. And please share this with a friend or family member who's also thinking about real estate investing. They might thank you for it. Also, if you have questions or topics you want us to cover, drop a message or leave a comment wherever you listen. We read all your feedback. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I can't wait to see the success stories that come from putting these lessons into action. Keep believing in yourself, keep investing in your future, and remember that your journey from diaspora to millionaire is built one wise decision at a time. Until next time, take care and keep dreaming big. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Naija Real Estate Diaspora Roadmap as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. Your support is what keeps us motivated to provide you with the best insight and strategies for your real estate success. If you could spare a moment, we greatly appreciate your feedback. Please leave us a review, share your thoughts and experiences with us. Your review not only make our day, but also help us tailor future episode to your preferences and interests. Stay connected with us by hitting the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. We are committed to being your trusted source for Naija Real Estate Diaspora Roadmap. Thank you for being a part of our community and remain your host, Marvelous Alabi. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.